But yeah, the graphics are amazing as well. That's one thing I can compliment, and so is the sound design. If you have an HDR screen, those lighting effects are really, really jump out the screen, and I have not seen other games do that. Well, do you think this will be the top 3 games that will win Game of the Year? Maybe? I haven't played the other games this year. I know I missed Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is just too long. But yeah, I think this will be way up there, Justin. Okay. We get drops. And now just the normal credits. Brianna White. Professor Hojo, they did a good job on his they did a good job in instilling the sense of creepiness. There's Rufus Shinra with his new vice president. I don't think they'll copyright the credits list, is it? Madam M's cutscene. Cloud did not like that. That's the only thing I can say. I have not played Ghost of Tsushima or The Last of Us 2. I have to get both of those games, but I can't stream them here because they're too extreme for this. They're too extreme for this this place. Cloud Strife, age 14, and Tifa Lockhart. the younger versions of themselves. Tyler Hoth Flynn. Wasn't he the same person in Kingdom Hearts? I'm not sure. And here are the extras. The random persons that get screen, and the random minor characters like these thugs. Motion capture. Yeah, I think they did a good job on motion capturing. Here is the music. It's probably copyrighted, but I don't care. This game's fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna go flip it again. Just in case we have on the road. Copyrighted. Okay, just more credits. They're probably gonna have some sort of pictures from the left because it's slightly offset right over here. Oh look, rude! Why are you stepping in the flowers? Oh, it's just the cutscenes from the entire game. There's Barrett making his reflection. There's the first robot boss. Yeah, memories indeed. There's the reactor exploding. That's the air buster. Oh no, that's not the air buster yet. This is the first reactor exploding. They did a fantastic job on the cutscenes as well. Now the neighbors meeting for the first time. I probably would have named it Banana. Probably close to what Nuja named these characters. But I can see why you can't rename the characters. It's because they actually speak to each other. Voice acted and such. This is the first motorcycle minigame, which was exhilarating. I believe I bought this game with the COVID-19 started. And I can't believe it took that long for me to beat it, but that was a fantastic ride that was. Notice how I spelled out the virus because I don't want to get hit by this. Because I can't say stuff freely anymore, right? Man, I miss the internet when it was the big Wild West, when you can just do everything without much consequences. Now it's all boring and corporate. Gotta be considerate of all the normies just trolling the internet today. Oh, good. Here am I again, just ranting. And Firefox memory leaking again. Something's never changed. I've been dealing with Firefox memory leaking every time I stream for like 2 years now. Oh well, I can still read the chat. That sucks, Justin. I remember having a lot of lively conversations on the PS4 party chat with randoms. I'm not sure what happened, but at a certain point it just got frustrating to talk to randoms these days. I think it started 2015, 2016, where it started, why are people like this? Anyway, reminiscing again. Cloud meeting Aerith's stepmother, technically. Digital Frontier. They sound like they sound familiar. I thought they might have made the cutscene. The Call of Duty days. 2010 to 2011, I think, was the. Yeah, it was the Battlefield 3 days. Yes. It was, that's when the internet peaked for me, when you can just, there's Cloud getting dressed up, nice. And there's us beating up Don Corneo, and then dealing with this giant monster thing. Welcome back, Holly Presdale. Well, unfortunately, the game is finished. That was fantastic. 10 out of 10. This was pretty enjoyable. I liked it. And there's the mysterious mysterious train yard. Gonna put my phone on my charger. there's that weird horse and carriage thing. Okay, the memory leak is getting worse. I have to fix that. One moment, please. There's almost a part. Oh, there's the part where the plate fell. Pretty devastating. Uno for Xbox 360, right? I heard people were doing really, really unspeakable things in front of a webcam on that game. I did not have an Xbox. I had a PlayStation 3 back in those days, so I did miss Uno. But I've heard stories of how Xbox 360's Uno was filled with questionable content. That's as far as I'm gonna be speaking about it. Viva Pinata is far down the line. Right now, I still have to finish Minecraft Dungeons, and I'm gonna be doing the rest of the Crash Bandicoot games. The ones for the 2D scrollers for Game Boy Advance, and eventually Crash Purple. Crash Purple. Is Pyra Orange? Oh yes, like Cooper 2 as well. Like Cooper 2. That got pushed back, in fact, so hard. There's the mayor, quote unquote, of Midgar. Here's Doggo. Here's Hojo's experiment. And there's that giant chainsaw saw blade fish. And there's President Shinra getting backstabbed, literally. And here's a dance with
everyone, and welcome back for Angels with Scaly Wings. Alright, so we have left off last in Chapter 1, just before we were going to actually meet with Lorem himself. Now, on a side note, I may be expecting a call. It actually just came up last minute, so it shouldn't be too bad, and I will just bring up my intermission screen if that happens. Otherwise, hopefully the stream itself will go well, and worst case scenario, I may just have to end this early or something. To start things off with, we were going out with Lorem in the Cafe Memoria. I went to the bar Lorem had suggested as our meeting place. When I looked around, I saw Brace sitting at a table, talking to someone I couldn't see. I lingered on him for a second, but soon spotted Lorem in the corner of my eye. There you are! Hey, Lorem! So it turns out we've seen this before. Yes, we have. No, we don't want to skip ahead. It's good to see you, though I thought you might not show up. I believe Justin is my only audience member right now, and he might be AFK. So for the time being, am I late? I don't see any reference here to why wouldn't I show up exactly. Not at all. I got here early. I'm kinda surprised you wanted to meet me here. Don't take this the wrong way, but are you even old enough to drink? What are you talking about? Oh, I see. I can assure you I am a fully grown adult. My species doesn't get much bigger than this. Speaking of which, are you fully grown yet? How big do humans usually get, and how do you stack up comparatively speaking? Oh, and would you mind if I took some notes? Before we get to that, you haven't told me yet what exactly this is all for. Are you sure you're not a reporter? If I was, Sebastian wouldn't let me meet you in the first place. And I thought the uniform was just a clever disguise. It's real though. Sebastian knows I work for the local post office. Excuse me, but this still doesn't really tell me anything about why I'm here. You're a postman who wants to interview me for what exactly? Sorry, I guess I got ahead of myself here. Maybe a full introduction is in order, and after that, you can still decide whether you want to go through with this or not. Sure, go ahead. I recently graduated college with a degree in computing and moved in here with a good friend of mine. This town doesn't exactly offer the best opportunities to put my degree to good use, though. Then why move here in the first place? Living in the city can be very expensive. I can always move later when I get a job there. I've got other plans right now, though. I'm working on a video game. That's what this is all about, a video game? Sorry, that sounds interesting. Exactly. Video games and computers are just starting to catch on in places like this town. Making good content will be very important to give a good first impression. And humans have always been part of our media, books, movies, and now games. With you on our side, this could be an amazing opportunity. Well... Oh, maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. Why is that? I don't know. You don't seem so thrilled about doing this anymore. Besides, your job must really be stressful, and you are probably already in the spotlight all the time. And now, to top it all off, you've got some postman harassing you for an interview. If you wanted to leave, I'd get that. You will stay, of course. Well, I'm already here and have nothing else to do, so let's make the most of this. Yes, thank you! At least I won't have to be so careful now, with the reporter, I'd have to worry about things being misinterpreted or being taken out of context. You should still be careful. What you tell me now will influence your entire species, how your entire species will be represented in my game. Don't worry though, I'll treat this delicate matter with the required finesse. Okay. How should we do this? Let me think. Why do you want to make this video game in the first place? I've always wanted to make a video game. I've had this idea for a while, and it seems now is the right time to do it. It's almost as if you arrived at the perfect moment. I don't know. Don't you think my visit will overshadow your efforts? People may not be so interested in playing a video game about humans anymore if they had a real one show up. Good point. The vast majority won't get to meet you personally. Anyway, if I say I did meet and model to human in the game after you, people will flock to it to get a similar experience. Does that mean I'm going to be your game's mascot? Viral marketing campaign, great. As long as it's based off the truth, you have my support. Awesome. Okay, but why focus on humans? What makes us so important? If there's one thing that people here love, it's humans. It doesn't matter if they just see them in the video or believe them as mythical creatures. For me, humans were always real. I just didn't know whether I'd get a chance to meet one myself. I guess I can cross that one off my bucket list. Now that we're here, I can tell you that no expense will be spared to make our portrayal of humans as accurate as possible. John Hammond. I'm with you on this. For good reason, I just love humans. If you say it like that, it actually ends up sounding pretty weird. Besides, what if I turn out to be a horrible person? What'd you think about humans then? It wouldn't change anything, because I wouldn't base my opinions of an entire species on interactions with a single individual. And what's your current opinion based on what is your current opinion of us based on? Just the myths we have, and the previous portrayal of humans in our media. I suppose that's why I'm here talking with you right now. I want the truth, and all of it. Telling you all of this might not be such a good idea. Oh yeah, I guess that would take a lot more time than we have today. Anyway, what's the actual game about? What do you do? It's a community simulation game. It all starts with the player character is moving into a procedurally generated community, which is inhabited by all kinds of mythical creatures, humans included. Mythical creatures like humans. Hello, Doppel. You're, I can't say you're exactly late. I mean, maybe a touch. I can't remember how much dialogue there was, in time. I've answered a few. Justin had to go AFK for a bit. And I just realized that I actually have my audio and everything delayed 400 milliseconds, so the game might actually be out of sync. Yeah, it's fine. I have the audio for the Switch 400 milliseconds delayed. It's just weird looking at my camera over here and seeing the slight delay there. Yay, bugs and features. Yeah, I completely forgot to reset everything. Not only are the towns you move into unique, but we're talking about Lorem's game, by the way. Yeah, that was already obvious. Not only are the towns you move into unique, but the inhabitants are too. There are a variety of traits that get randomized, both with looks and personality. There are many things you can do, but it's very open-ended, and you can live your life there however you want to. Now, personally, that exactly sounds like my kind of game. Rimworld, Factorio, City Skylines. Alright, maybe it is. Sounds like my kind of game. Your kind of game as well? Alright, so that's all of our games apparently. Double, I have to get you into Rimworld next. Oh really? I couldn't ask for a better compliment than that. Rimworld, Factorio feels a lot like RimWorld, except that it has a lot of work on the sprites, and RimWorld is not focused on the sprites. It's still a pretty game, but it is much more a colony simulation game, and it was actually a procedural story generator, I think Tynan is calling it. Because if you really get wrecked and your poor murdered colony murder hobos, he says that's not actually the end of the game, or game over, that's just a really rather unfortunate event. So it's really meant to be a procedural story generator thing. You've heard of RimWorld, I take it then, Doppel? I have streamed it once before and you did see a little bit of it. That was with mods, mind you, but it is a very fun game. It's kind of like Factorio, except that you're not managing factories, you're managing a bunch of pawns who are going to be shot and then have a permanent wound in their arms and legs, and then permanent wound debuff because they ate without a table. Here goes from another friend? Alright. I can stream it again at some point too if you're interested. What other mythical creatures are there besides humans? I haven't worked that out yet, but humans alone give us a lot of material to work with. How so? The question of the mythical human can be tackled in a variety of ways. There are many different interpretations of what humans are like. For example, in general, the mythical humans can be divided into 3 categories. Firstly, the human is a physical creature. Secondly, the human is a non-physical entity. And thirdly, the human is a spiritual being. Now, I just noticed something here, is the way Lorem's face just lit up. Does that remind anyone of Katsuharu when you're asking him what kind of ice cream he has? I have sorbets and ice creams and whatever else he has. Battlefield 5, I'm going to pretend that the game never existed. DICE Sweden didn't follow under TTK patches, glitches, they never got rid of them. Fair enough, I guess, Justin. I'm not into first-person shooters or especially Battlefields, so whatever. I think the only shooters I really actually got into was Star Wars Battlefront, the one from 2005 that is, and Overwatch. And unfortunately Overwatch didn't last long because all my friends were excited. Yeah, we all played Overwatch, but then they weren't so interested anymore because the game was so broken to them, whatever, that it wasn't fun, so they just got rid of it. So I was all alone, and then that wasn't fun. Alright, so let's start with the physical aspects. Sure, since one of our myths tells us that humans who created us eventually turned into a dragon. There's a lot of room for interpretation as to how similar humans actually are to dragons. I had that back on the PS2, that's when I originally played it, but I also actually have that on the PC here. They are repetitive? I didn't mind the repetitiveness because it's just, you know, it's a MOBA, very similar to Heroes of the Storm. And I got into platinum level-ish, I believe, in quick matches. Basically just playing Brightwing. So I was your healer and nobody could touch me. I was mobile all over the place. So I don't mind the repetitiveness or the team battle. It's when things just don't feel fair and it's all one-sided or whatever. You get a really poor team that's just not doing what you're supposed to be doing kind of thing. Because I didn't have any friends to play with anymore, so that's why I lost interest. Battlefront on the PSP. I have played a few Battlefronts on the PSP. I don't like it on the PSP as much because most of the controls are using the base buttons instead of an analog stick, because there was only ever one analog stick. So it was hard to aim, and I just wasn't that interested. The games were still very interesting, but I didn't like it as much as the PS2 because it had an actual extra analog stick. Dragons, in case you don't. I can see you don't have wings, but most of us are able to fly. Unable to breathe fire in some way, or at least have breath on them. How about you? I don't know what they were actually exactly thinking. They it is really weird. I don't know, I just went with it. I played PSP, whatever. You also just notice that my cat is over there sleeping. If you're interested in a kitty, that's right here. Alright, so I forgot to mention that there is a choice here. We don't have a... What kind of a breath weapon do we have? We don't have a breath weapon unless you count our morning breath. We can rub 2 sticks together to make fire, does that count? Or, of course, I can also move things with my mind. 2? Rub 2 sticks together? Alright. PSP had 1 analog stick left because the right hand is large. Oh, is that why they only had 1 PSP? 1 stick. Alright. That would actually make sense for the design choice at least. We have every game for it. That's... wow, okay. So, rub 6 together, does that count? Not really. Having hands are dexterous enough to do remarkable. To do that is remarkable. Sorry. It is a bit strange though, because our myths also say that you gave that ability to us. Interesting. That's amazing, Doppel. I have never actually touched my PSP before, and I've actually given it away now to the local thrift store, Salvation Army. The one thing that I have done is the right Joy-Con on my Switch, though, right here. Yeah, the blue actually came with the repair kit. What I did is I replaced the joystick here, because it was just doing the Joy-Con drift, and then while I was at it, I decided to also give it the metal lock. You can just barely see it there. Right between the red and the black, there's another color that's actually metal. So that's actually not wearing out anymore because it just can't. And I replaced that for both Joy-Cons. You need to do that. Your Joy-Cons, they suck now. My Joy-Cons, so many games lately that I've just been playing where I have that right Joy-Con for like the camera or whatever, and then the camera just goes, whoop, top down now. No, I don't want to top down. I need to see where I'm going in the next 2 meters. And it's just, nope, top down again. Okay then. Interesting. Maybe it's to be taken literally, meaning that when that ability was given to us, you lost it. Or maybe we never had it in the first place. Humans are known to have created a lot of things out of nothing. After all, we only needed to discover how to create and use fire because we didn't have a natural ability to do so. We have a proverb that sums it up pretty well. What is it? Necessity is the mother of invention. So, a lack of natural ability drove innovation forward. That is an interesting thought. By the way, Doppel, I do believe I sent you that Amazon link before. Do you need me to send it to you again regarding the Joy-Con repair kit? It came with 2 Joy-Con replacement pieces. I think it came with some extra screws, locks, and everything. Screwdrivers to actually fix it. Oh, apparently the wind is actually blowing outside and opening and closing my door. I'm just watching that right behind my camera here. Got the link? Alright. When I ordered it, I was actually surprised that it only took a few days. I thought it was going to be shipping from the States or something and take 2 months to get here. You keep forgetting to buy it, fair enough. Well, you have the link and it got here in a couple of days, so you can just do that if you need to. Here's another thing. You might have many different images of humans, but in the end, only one can be right. It's also possible that what you've been led to believe about humans doesn't actually refer to us at all. Are you implying that you aren't human? No, I'm just saying that if you really have been in contact with humans before, therefore, as your myths imply, they will need to belong to the same species as me, and thus be very similar to myself. If they aren't, then either we aren't humans at all, or have very different origins. Every 3 months, wow. I haven't actually needed to ever do that. I think, my experiences with a PSP is I originally got one. At some point in a movie theater, I forgot which one, I actually dropped my PSP in the movie theater, went out with my mom and a friend, and got to the car and realized, oh crap, my PSP isn't here anymore, it must have dropped out of my pocket. Went back to find it, and I think it was that point actually in which I discovered that the way it had landed on the ground was so perfect that it landed on the power switch and broke it, so I couldn't actually turn it on anymore. I got a replacement PSP, and it was some point later, I think, because I didn't take it to Calgary with me initially when I got sick, so it was just at home for whatever reason so long, and when I finally got back, it actually had tarnished screen. I could not clean it because it was tarnished on the inside, so it was like big coffee stains all over the entire screen. During my stay at the hospital, though, my dad was kind enough to actually buy me a third PSP before I actually got back home to the second one there. So that one was my go-to PSP for a while, and somehow, sometime after I got home, that one actually started to have problems with the square button. I think those were the only problems I ever had with any PSP whatsoever, and that was since 2005, I think. So you say that there's a possibility that our humans and your humans may be something different altogether. I suppose you're right. In the way that our images of humans are very inconsistent, they certainly can't all be humans the way that we would refer to a single species. The name should probably be reserved for yours. You play DJ Max Portable every single day. Wow. We haven't even touched on the other two categories of humans. What did you call them again? Non-physical human entities and spiritual humans. What's the difference? Honestly, the definitions get a bit muddled there. Going by conventional belief, a ghost could be a human who has died and thus changed into a different form. We call these spiritual humans. Top speed was 10 to 11 button presses per second, and you play for hours, so that would explain why he would wear out the buttons so fast. And I had multiple PSPs. It was in the last few years at some point in which I gave them away to our thrift store, because I just never played them anymore. Never even touched them. That is also a lot faster than I can do anything. I can do about 1.5 button pushes maybe per second. That might be only for the one button though. Honestly, the definitions get that right. An angel, on the other hand, would be classified as a non-physical entity. What do you know about angels? Angels basically look like humans with wings. Their existence in ancient scripts was used to lend some credence to the theories about humans having become dragons. Because of the wings? Exactly. But some of your species don't have wings either. Yes, as I said, once you start delving into that kind of stuff, it all becomes very convoluted. Mysteriously broke, Justin. When we met, you also told me something about a four-headed human. Right. With that, you get into the realm of creatures that just don't make much sense at all. Having 4 heads just seems unlikely from an evolutionary perspective. That might not really matter if we were talking about non-physical entities or a spiritual being, though. So in the end, you have a lot of different ideas, whose only connection to each other is that you use the word human to describe them in some way. Ah, yes, right stick. I don't think I've had any controller that had a malfunctioning right stick specifically, other than my right Joy-Con. My PS3 is working fine, the controllers for it are working fine. PS2, PS1, they always work fine. My PS1 controllers even actually lasted for the entirety of my PS2. Yeah. I really don't like, I don't remember how long ago it even started, but I think even since the PS1 and the Genesis and everything, Sega Genesis, things have been designed more and more rails. They're intentionally going to break down at some point, and then you have to go and buy another one or something. My dad actually had a business for a couple of decades. He actually called it Owen Tool Repair, because he would literally have a business, especially with our local tool store over here somewhere, where they would actually bring tools over to him so that he could fix it and then he could give it back. Vibration because it'll stop working and it violently. Wow, okay. All these broken controllers that everybody's suffering here. Wow, okay. They share at least the same basic characteristic. You fit those as well, by the way. Obsolescent. Yeah, I can't even pronounce that right now. Obsolescent. No, I can't pronounce that word right now. What are they? You're certainly not like not a reptile like us, but you don't look like a conventional mammal either. We are mammals, though. Yes, but you're so different from every other mammal we know. Ultimately, you are quite unique. We don't know any other sentient mammals. You've got a point there, I'll give you that. If only Lorem was a master fixing game controllers. I don't think... No, he's not a hardware guy, he's a software guy, and he plays with the Ixoman Sphere. I think that's not quite their equivalence of a controller, I think that's their equivalence of Mass Effect Omnitool. Strangely enough, we have plenty of human-like creatures in our mythologies as well. Oh, do tell! I already mentioned ghosts and some other ones, including, some other ones include dwarves, giants, fairies, and blemmies. If you're not elves, and, well, actually, dragons. I've been coming from D&D a lot. I think you heard most of these before, but what are the blemmies? Essentially, a blemmie is a human without a head. A human without a head. How does that work? How do they eat? Instead of a head, they just have all their facial features on their chest. That's a rather weird mental image. There's also a lot of half-creatures that share some characteristics with humans and other animals. Like other humans? Sure. Lastly, there are creatures that are said to be able to shapeshift into human form. Strangely enough, some of our dragon myths said they could shapeshift into humans, or that certain other countries' royalties were descendants from dragons. True, there's always how-to basics for the solution. Throwing eggs will fix the problem. Make sure you use the whole package. The whole box or whatever it is. In my main D&D group here, we actually apparently encountered two groups of... No, I guess it would be three groups of wolves in all. There's like one group, whatever, that's just violent, whatever. Another group that was werewolves, and another group that was wolf wares, and then the group itself, in which they all four groups came together in this one great big battle. This is roleplayed with dice and everything. You know, the D20s and the D4s and the cubes and stuff like that. I don't know how it's played out because I had to leave early that night, but apparently right after I left, it got into this one huge massive battle. And apparently the difference between a werewolf and a wolf were is that a werewolf is a werewolf, a human who got bit by a werewolf or whatever, and the wolf were is a wolf that got bit by a human. You need to be AFK so you came up and what? Okay, fair enough, Double. I forgot to read out the responses, I'm so busy blabbermouthing here. So what did he say? That would imply they're compatible with humans, apparently, yes. Sounds rather outlandish if you ask me. You certainly can't shapeshift like that. Are you sure? Alright, so I guess this comes up to Justin this time, is, he can't shapeshift. Is that just because it's a myth, or is he sure he can't shapeshift? Justin? Okay, so Doppel... Okay, fair enough, Doppel. So Doppel wants to say that it's probably just a myth. Apparently Doppel does not want to tease Lorem in, are you sure you can't shapeshift? Right. To be fair, we do have a lot of myths that seem quite out there as well, compared with what you're like. Anyway, how come you know so much about myths? All part of being an ambassador. Not only did I learn about dragon myths in order to compare them to what you were like, but I also studied myths about creatures that are similar to humans, so I could find out how similar they are to yours. Well, you're doing an excellent job so far. It's bound to help a lot with my game as well. You're going to put all of that into your game? Let's just say it gives me some excellent material to work with. I thought you wanted to give an accurate portrayal of humans, not just collect myths. One species will certainly be modeled after you, but that doesn't mean we can't introduce some variety with others. We'll love it if we also bring them some of the more unusual myths to life. I see. But since we also want each of the normal human characters to be unique, I'd like to know how much variety there really is within your species. I've seen Reza before, so comparing him to you already gives me a bit of an idea. But how far do these differences go exactly? When we arrived here, you asked me if I was old enough to drink. That leads me to believe that your average humans must be a lot taller. That's true. You could say that Reza would be average for an adult. Not that it would be quite impossible to get a good deal bigger than him, or even smaller than you. But those cases are rather rare and serious, the result of medical conditions. I see. What about colors? Are there any humans who are blue like me? Not really. There's a certain spectrum of skin color that can be lighter or darker. But so far, I've seen a lot more variety in dragons here. We do have quite a number of different eye colors, though. Interesting. As for things that aren't immediately visible, we also have different blood types, but I assume you know about that. We certainly have those as well. Some people even believe your blood type influences your personality. That, on the other hand, is news to me. Anything else you want to know? Phew, we already got so much. I'll have to think about it, and about if and how we can work all this into the game. Have you worked on any other games before? I worked on a few small projects during the course of my studies, and also interned at a studio before. This is on a completely different level though. How so? It's my game, so I'm the one calling the shots here. But it's a very different thing than just making a few graphics when you're a part of a bigger team, for sure. See, how long exactly have you been working on this? Phew, must have been several months now. I've got everything planned out, and a lot of groundwork has already been done. The most difficult thing are the characters themselves, and to make sure all of the details are accurate. Activision be like... what, Justin? They wish they could hire Lorem, though, I bet. Of course. Have you shown the game to other people yet? Sure. Feedback is a very important part of the development process, so I regularly gather ideas and opinions from others. I even made a website to do this. And what do they say? All kinds of things, really. Sometimes it's hard to decide which ones have a good point and which ones can be disregarded. Overall, it seems like there are many people who are looking forward to playing my game. How many are we talking about? I don't know exactly. The counter on my website only tracks the number of visits, so I don't know how many different people there are. What Lorem said. Gee, I can't think today. I forgot what he already said. I remember vaguely what he was talking about the different myths and whatever about humans, and it'll be excellent material for my game. Something. Don't know exactly the counter on my website or the tracks number of visits. But if it doesn't work out? What do you mean? Well, you're investing a certain amount of time into making this game. Ideally, you would want to make back your investment, and hopefully get some profit off that. Excuse me. Give me just a moment here, actually. If the goal is to make money, sure. However, I just want to try my hand at doing something like this. If some people are going to enjoy the end result, that's great. Don't forget that I'll also have made something that I can put on my resume. At the very least, it'll have been a good learning experience. With that attitude, I suppose you don't really have anything to lose. I can always look for another job, and maybe I'll end up working at a game studio. But I think once I've started doing something like that, I might not get this opportunity again. So it's now or never, huh? In a nutshell, yes. Oh, excuse me. And that all works out with your career job? Sure, I can support myself this way and I'm not really under any pressure, since I don't have any deadlines to keep. Seems like you know what you're doing. Or deadlines are a good way to ensure things get done, though. Alright, so I'm just gonna continue yawning here for a bit. Well, we have the choice of seems like you know what you're doing, or deadlines are a good way to ensure something. Poor sleepy cat. I feel about as tired as she looks right now. Alright, so Justin, 1 or 2. I believe Doppel is indisposed at the moment. And I suppose I should get my tablet out for this actually. Because I have a sexy new dice app. Alright, so some conflicting answers, and perfectly as I'm getting my dice app. This is something I picked up on itch, so I'll just show the camera real quick. Okay, so I have the brightness really low. You can actually see the webcam back there. Oh, okay. Where's it? Hard figuring this out backwards. Okay, so we've got stuff there. Let me see if we can tap the random dice. Okay, I think that was a 14. Is that a 16? 73. Okay, so that's the default D100. That one is. Yeah, let me throw an actual dice. And if I can just. Wait, there we go. Okay, so an actual polyhedral that isn't magic, except it is actually using magic stuff, so. Dice. It is exactly in the middle, except by rounding and stuff, it says, 1. Seems like you know what you're doing. I'd like to think so. What kind of tools are you using to make it? If I consider some of your species, what some of your species looks like, I'm having a hard time imagining how the bigger ones could program a game. They are exactly D&D dice. I recently picked up that app for about $5. You can actually customize the dice, and you don't need to know any programming or anything. But if you really wanted to mess with stuff, you can actually do so in XML. And everything works on your tablet, which is obviously what I was using. Hey! So I do like the dice app. It's kind of a shame that I'm not going to be able to use it very often or effectively, but it's nice that you can actually take the dice. It's made in Unity because it says so splash screen. Just roll the dice, flick it, whatever, bring up multiple dice, make multiple colors of dice, variations, and all that. It's very nice. You can even put text and images on the dice, whatever, so it's fancy. Even some really weird custom dice and stuff, so just... we do have devices tailored to each individual species. I can't deny that my dexterous hands makes it a lot easier compared to some of the others. One downside is I have to keep my nails short, or else using the keyboard gets a bit cumbersome. I imagine you'd have to be careful with those while working as a courier anyways. You're right about that. One wrong move and you suddenly shredded the letter you were just about to hand someone. Alright, I know the answer for this one, but I'm gonna ask anyways. 1 or 2, that sounds unpleasant, or you should be more careful. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Doppel says that sounds unpleasant. Alright. So I can't really get a close-in zoom on my cat over there because the camera's wire is just too short. I will have to settle for taking a close-up picture for Discord later, assuming everybody likes cat pics. That's alright, sweetheart. Alright, so sounds unpleasant. Luckily, that kind of thing doesn't really happen to me anymore. Oh, offset cat too. There we go. Not only because of the shorter nails, but once you've worked there for a while, you just learn to be more careful. It's a bit sad not to have them as a natural letter opener anymore, though. And that's not just me. Some people ask me to open their letters for them, since doing that on their own can be difficult for some of the less dexterous and older ones. Have you been working as a courier for long? I just got this job a few months ago, and I had a part-time summer job at the post office when I was growing up. My species is perfectly suited to the job, so they were glad to have me on board. Alright, I can see that. Why is that? Or, really? I'm going to post that picture in Discord now real quick. And sorry about being so distracted. I don't know, so distracted or tired or something today. Alright, so Doppel says I can see why. Of course, being able to fly is a big plus. My size means I can't deliver any big packages, but I often get assigned to urgent letters that have to be delivered as soon as possible. Huh, it's getting late. Maybe we should leave it at that for today. Yeah, I should probably head back to my apartment before it gets too dark. I got more than enough material to work with. Thanks a lot. Maybe I can convince you to meet me again some other time. I'd like to get some pictures of you for a reference. Alright, sure, here's my number. I can't thank you enough for doing this. You've been a huge help. don't worry about it. I really have to get going now, so maybe I'll see you next time. Sure. Ciao. Take care. Alright. Now, for... this server doesn't have a Netflix thing, so... here it is. Alright, so I only see duty there. I didn't see if there was anything else, but... posting into Discord here. Photograph sharing. So it turns out we've seen this before. Either we can skip ahead or nah. How are we doing for time? Yeah, we can do this. As you wish. Another day, another morning. I woke from my dreams filled with fire and smoke. The sun shining through the window gave me a comforting feeling of familiarity, despite the portal in the distance reminding me of my purpose here. I looked towards the horizon, my view undisturbed by dividing walls. The light of the morning sun was painting the sky with golden hues, a view that had become a rarity back home. It evoked a feeling of freedom and openness that was almost scary to me. While I got ready for the day, my thoughts strayed to the people I knew back home. I couldn't help but wonder how they were doing. But I had greater things to worry about at the moment, like Reza, murderers, and generators. How much danger was I in, really? Hey, Cabbage. Hey, Chief. More bad news? Not quite, unless you count Reza's still missing as bad news. But that's kinda why I'm here. Well, what is it? Just some good old-fashioned police work, and we're counting on your help. Again. Alright, so are we not really in the mood to look at corpses today? I can't remember what Bryce actually responded to that, but I think it was like oh no worries, no corpses today. Sure, sign us up. Justin. Or it's not like I have anything better to do. I mean, we technically could be checking out the Lorem, I suppose, if we... oh, he's impressed. I'm happy about that. Alright, so not really in the mood to look at corpses today. What was I thinking? Exactly what I was thinking, sorry. Don't worry, we have something else planned. We obtained a list of places Reza visited the day before he vanished. We'll check those out, maybe find a lead, and you might be able to help us understand his motives or give us some context to his actions. I can certainly try. I'm sure you'll do a great job. That is reassuring. Are you ready to go? Sure, let's go. There's a couple of places we can check out. Let's see where we should go first. Brace laughed. Yes. While Brace focused on the list, I saw someone approach out of the corner of my eye. A closer look revealed that it was Sebastian, waving his arms in an attempt to get our attention as he ran towards us, his face grave. There you are, Chief. I was looking for you. What are you doing here? Don't tell me there's another dead person. Sorry, Chief. There is. Man, guess it's going to be one of those days. Yeah, looks that way. Someone else can take care of that today, though. We've got other plans. We'll need to sign off on a few things, at least. I know. We'll go to the crime scene, sign a few forms, and then we're out. When we arrived at the scene, I saw the poor victim next to one of the houses. The obligatory sheet that was draped over him provided a modicum of discretion, but did nothing to hide the crime that had occurred. Alright, give me the story. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. The wounds match those of the last victim, so a similar, if not identical, murder weapon is likely. The victim? Maintenance person for this area. The electricity's out. The power goes out, maintenance guy shows up, and is killed before he can fix the problem. At least, that's my theory. The power for the whole block is still out? That is correct. We should get that fixed as soon as possible. We don't need any civilians showing up around here complaining about sitting in the dark. Good point. Bryce's snout wrinkled with distaste as he glanced over Sebastian's shoulder. Not again. What is it? What are you doing here, Maverick? A second victim, huh? This is an official investigation, so you better not cross that police line. Shunned by my own colleagues. This is ridiculous. You know how it is, rules are rules, and without rules, murders like this one would be allowed to happen and go unpunished. Tch, have your fun without me then. What do you think he wanted here, Chief? That one's easy. To do his own investigation, just like he said he would. I shouldn't be surprised he showed up, but I guess we're lucky that we arrived before he did. I see. We better check out that power outage now. Of course, I think the door to the maintenance room is right around here. You got your flashlight, Seb? Always, Chief. You should go down first, then. I don't have my stuff here. Besides, putting on that head mount is such a hassle. I remember. You complain about that every time it comes up. There, that should do the trick. You stay behind me, Cabbage, alright? Okay. You know, I would kind of like to see one of those Angels with Broken Hearts comics, where Bryce is having to put on that head mount and go into some dark, scary place with Sebastian. Just because, I remember, you always complain about that. I would like to see that reference. God, I hate stairs, especially those made for smaller dragons like you. Trust me, having it the other way around isn't too great either. Alright, are we going to say nothing? Are we going to say we don't mind stairs? Or we dislike all kinds of stairs? I remember that. 2? I don't mind stairs that much. I can see why. Your legs have more articulation than mine, especially the knees. Out of us 3, I think Bryce has it the worst right now. Damn you and your articulated knees. This kind of reminds me of when we found that underground base, or whatever it was. Remember, Chief? How can I not? It wasn't that long ago. Underground base? Yeah, the portal wasn't the only piece of ancient technology we found. There's this whole lab near it. Seemed to have some high-tech stuff in there. Remember Bryce tangled in comet? Really? I will have to take a look at that. At least that place didn't have as many stairs. Wait, so you not only found the portal, but a whole facility along with it? Yes, but we're not sure how much the two are actually related. We spent all that time studying the portal and barely got anywhere with it. This stuff is just beyond what we know. Here we are. So, what exactly are we looking for? Whatever's causing the power outage. If we don't find the cause, we should at least be able to get the backup running. Looks like the generator's gone. Mystery solved! The sound of creaking metal penetrated the stillness of the room. I looked above towards the source of the noise as it grew louder, and in the next instant, I was pushed sideways and fell to the ground, just barely avoiding the giant light fixture that fell from the ceiling and shattered into countless pieces alongside me. Cabbage, are you alright? The next thing I saw was a hooded figure standing above me, barely visible against the darkness that permeated the room. The figure crouched down next to me, its mask hovering right in front of my face. Merely a whisper reached my ears when it spoke. Yes, the administrator. Be careful, Cabbage. Then the figure dashed towards the stairs. Where are you going? That's not me. Don't move. She's going up the stairs. I'm on it. I didn't see that chair coming. I can't see a darn thing in here. Here, Chief. I hate these stupid stairs. Or Cab Ambassador. I like that, Justin. You're blocking the way. Just go around me. There's no room here as wide as the stairs are. I can't help it. Well, we'll never catch him now. By the time we found our way back up, the mysterious figure was nowhere to be found. We've got a long search ahead of us, and with a head start like that, there might be no end to it. We have to take our chances as long as we still can. Except the chance is growing smaller and smaller while we wait for the team to arrive. Whatever happened down there? Right, Cabbage, tell us everything in as much detail as you can. There wasn't much to it. I heard a noise, I looked up, the light fixture came down, and then someone pushed me. You mean Reza? I guess so. Don't think it was Reza, or not so sure about it. Right, we don't think it was Reza? What makes you say that? Whoever it was wearing a mask. If well, it can't be someone else. Let's not kid ourselves here. Wait a minute. When we were down there, didn't you refer to him as she? Did I? I don't know. Maybe you just heard it wrong. Maybe. Why would he wear that whole getup though? Because you didn't want to be recognized. Some sort of camouflage. Or for protection. To be fair, we know the answer is actually he didn't want to be recognized, but they're not going to believe that. It's been so long since I actually had the window open, the curtains and everything. It's actually not too hot right now. And there's also wind blowing outside. Alright, so some sort of camouflage. Good point. The whole thing doesn't make any sense anymore. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Your earlier theory about what happened was pretty sound, Sebastian. Let's go with that, and add the bit about the generator being stolen. So now the question is, who has a motive for stealing the generator? It could be anyone, really. I have no idea. Or Reza. Excuse me. Reza? Alright. Right. Who else would need to steal a generator, when those who live here could either buy one or simply request one? Not to mention Reza was the only one who arranged the diplomatic trade for the generators in the first place. I can't deny the fact that your generators are pretty important to us, but resorting to murder? We all saw the human figure running away. Why would he have stayed if he stole... why would he have stayed if he stole it? Maybe it was a dragon in disguise. Are we sure that we saw him running away? I think in my first playthrough, my absolute first playthrough, I might have actually said maybe it was a dragon in disguise. Why would he stay here if he stole it? That's a good point, though. Why would he right here for the son who stole it? Sure, was already gone when he got here. The person in question wasn't carrying it either. Perhaps it's a case of the criminal returned to the crime scene. Alright, see ya, Doc. Focus is now going to you, Justin. For this kind of crime? I'd say no, but who knows? Maybe our rules just don't apply. What do you mean? No offense, but ever since you two humans arrived, there have been a lot of strange things going on. This place used to be a quiet town. So, you think it was Reza? You're starting to sound like Maverick. Maybe this whole thing was a huge misunderstanding. Or, you do understand why you ran away in the first place, right? I'll just refocus that camera now on me, since my cat is no longer exactly facing the camera. I think I'm just so tired and restless right now. Long ago, the Dragon Age lived in peace and harmony, then everything changed until Reza and his gun attacked. Yes. Alright, so Justin, what do you think? Should I roll some dice for you? I can absolutely do that. You do understand why you ran away in the first place, right? Strange alien world. Big, scary dragon coming to arrest him, and he has no idea what the consequences of being arrested would have been. Are you actually defending him? No, I'm just looking for an explanation. Maybe we should just focus on finding him and point fingers later. Agreed. The police team will be here any minute now. You don't have to get involved in the search, but that doesn't mean you can't help us. What do you want me to do? We still have a lot of places, a list of places that we were going to check out, remember? They can't go now if the search takes priority. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I can't control my yawning. Of course we'll still check out those places after we're done here, but if you go on your own, you could speed up the process. You could even find a lead for us, who knows? Sure thing. You must be really short on staff if you need to rely on me. How about no? Okay. Alright, so Justin wants sure thing. Great! Here's the list. Considering your status, you shouldn't have any trouble finding these places. But if anything happens, call me and I'll check up on you later. Wait a minute, you mean I'm going all by myself? All of us are going to be busy with the search, and we can't really afford to spare someone right now. You'll be fine. Aren't you worried I'll try to do something fishy? I mean, isn't that why Reza and I were assigned police escorts in the first place? That policy was mostly Maverick's fault, and he's out of the picture. With my authority as chief, I say you can go alone. How do you know what you're, where you're going? Besides, I trust you. If you were in cahoots with Reza, you would have run off when you had the chance. Justin. Are you looking up memes again? I guess I need to recenter that. Is that even the right way? No, that was not. Good point. Ah, I see the team approaching. I guess you should get going. Alright, I'll see you later then. Good luck. It was a relief to leave the crime scene, considering all that had happened. When I reached into my pocket to take a look at the list, however, I found something unexpected. Ah. There's a small piece of paper with the word Tatsu written on it. How did it get there? Your earlier encounter with the masked person was the only time today that someone was close enough to smuggle something into my pocket. I figured if someone like Bryce tried to do something like that, I definitely would have noticed. As for Tatsu, the only related thing that I could think of was Tatsu Park, which I came across when I went to the police station the other day. Even if that park was the place the mysterious person referred to, I didn't know if it was actually a good idea to visit. The masked person may have saved me from the falling light fixture, but if it was Reza, it would mean following someone who was also the prime suspect of 2 murders. I also had to consider the list of places that Reza had been to: a local grocery store, the production facility they had visited, and the library were the 3 places closest to here. It certainly was going to be a busy day, and I knew I wouldn't have time to visit all of them. Alright, so Justin, you have 2 options here. That is to pick any 2 options: the grocery store, the production facility, visit the library, or Tatsu Park. In fact, if you even wanted to just skip one of them, you have just 1 choice. I see your PM there, Justin. Any? Okay. Alright, visit the library according to the dice. Alright, Reza. What did you want here? Hey, it's Remy. I already told you it's not here. Who's he talking to? Nadine? You won't help out an old friend? Friend? This is the first time you've spoken to me in years. And whose fault is that? For you, I didn't even exist these last few years. I at least tried to reach out to you. No, you're just here because you want something. I'm right here, right now, and you still continue to act like that. She was my friend too, you know. I think you should leave. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for everything. It's a little late for apologies. Have it your way then. It's kind of a shame that there's no extra dialogue there, because you have both their good endings, and by now they're all, oh hey, Nadine, how are you today at this hatchery and orphanage? And here is Bara, the other dragon that I've adopted and I'm looking after, yada yada. Dean stormed out so quickly that she didn't even notice me. I waited for a few moments and wondered if it was a good idea to talk to Remy. In the end, I decided that my task was too pressing to come back another time. I shuffled through the books and tried to look busy until I noticed he resumed his work, so I could approach him. Hello, Cabbage. How can I help you? Great, so I assume, I suppose I could ask about Dean as well. Has Reza been here recently? Reza, he's visited often since he arrived. Actually, until a few days ago, that is. Do you know what he was reading? Not particularly. I thought he just wanted to learn more about our world. Did you notice anything unusual about him while he was here? Can't say I did. Though he did ask me for a map once. A map? Yeah, I showed it to him, but none of them seemed to be what he's looking for. Did he talk to you about anything strange while he was here? Besides the maps, nothing else worth mentioning comes to mind. Only the usual pleasantries. What did Dean want from you? Wait, you were here that whole time? Not the whole time, just long enough to know that something's up. It's nothing that concerns you. Come on, it does concern me. I know you and I know Dean. It's really nothing of great importance. Are you aware of a certain prehistoric underground building we recently discovered? I've heard of it. She wanted a blueprint of it, which was one of the things found inside the building during an investigation. Why would you have them? We're not just a library, you know, but a whole archive that stores all sorts of information on and objects. In any case, blueprint is the kind of thing that'll be placed in our care eventually. So she thinks you have it. Even if we did, it wouldn't be something we could just give out to anyone. Of course. How are you doing? I'm doing fine, thank you. That is all. Thank you for your help. You're welcome. Alright, now before I forget, is there anything that actually relates to Lorem? Oh yes, the good ending. We actually do have to go to Tatsu Park. Now I'm only going to do this once, but we need to search the pavilion. You never know what you'll find around the pavilion. Let's do it. And you have to do that several times. There doesn't seem to be anything important here, but at least it's important text. It provides excellent shades, right? And the reason you want to search the pavilion is so that you can get the excellent sphere right here. The item which is right smack dab in the middle. So we're actually done here, except we might as well look at the map so we can go to Tatsu Avenue, and so that we can open the hatch. So, first button. Lorem impressed more, by the way. Oh, yes. I'm excited to see what his voice message is going to be. Capture platforms. Just gonna go grab that cloth. There's a cloth with suspicious red markings all over it. I guess it's all to be found down here. Lorem pulls the Adam method. What method are you exactly talking about there, Justin? Stop searching the park. We're done here. The afternoon sun hung low in the sky, and I decided it was time to report my findings to the police. A brief call to the department, and I was on my way to an appointment with Sebastian. So it turns out we've seen this before. No, don't skip ahead. I'm not sure how my findings will help, but at least I have something. Look who we have here. I turned around to see Maverick. His intense gaze confirmed that there was no one else his words could have been directed at. Even with the civilians passing by in the background, I suddenly felt very alone. What do you want from me? Answers. What if I don't have... Justin, which option do you want? What if I don't have anything for you? Or, okay, start talking. I think Remy is the only one who even remotely comes to an RPG. Sorry, a roleplay tabletop, because he has that RPG on his computer. If Lorem went down a modem voicemail, okay. If he was also into D&D as well, yes. Phoenix Wright mode? Alright. There's the Phoenix Wright mode back in the first investigation. Objection! Just tell me one thing. Why? What is your goal in all of this? Why even come here? Again, Justin, 1 or 2. You know why? We came as ambassadors for humanity and to oversee the trade we agreed upon. Or, you wouldn't understand. Alright. That wasn't 1. No, that won't do. It's simply not true. You know it, and I know it. I just don't get why you can't be honest with me, even when you know no one else is listening. I know, you know I can't touch you. If I did, it would be over for me. At least as long as I don't have any proof. In the end, what difference does it make if I know? No one is going to believe me anyways. Do you wish to kill me, too, like Reza? Now, here's 3 options, Justin. Say nothing. Tell him I would never do such a thing. Or tell him, if I have to. Never do such a thing? Alright, you first-person shooter. Is that so? Tell me, why would an ambassador need such a dangerous tool in the first place? I know you claim to not have one of these things Reza injured me with, and you didn't have any when they searched you, but I guess it's way too late for safety precautions at this point. You could have hidden one anywhere. That hurt, you know. But even worse than that was getting thrown aside by Bryce. I trust him, but after what happened, he doesn't trust me anymore. Now there's only you. The mythical, the new, the special. How much I wish I could make him see what I see. I could have saved the world with what I did that day, and it still wouldn't matter that no one believes me, just because I don't have any proof. But I won't stop until I find some. And when I'm done, I'm going to be a hero. Good, the bad, the ugly. And with that, he was gone. On the way to the police station, Maverick's words kept finding their way back into my mind. I couldn't decide how I feel about them. I wasn't sure if it was worth mentioning to the police, since all he did was make big accusations. It wasn't anything substantial enough to be considered a threat. However, his actions were growing more and more calculated, and he seemed very sure of himself. I wondered about what this could amount to. But that wasn't the problem at hand. Maverick walked away. It was super effective. Hey, Cabbage. Hey, Sebastian. I thought I'd meet you at the front desk. What are we doing in Bryce's office? He does have a nice office, doesn't he? And the chairs are comfy. Is that the only reason we're in here? The dragon gave a brief chuckle. Let's just say that any information pertaining to this case is important enough to warrant some privacy. I see. Will Bryce be here anytime soon? I don't think so. He's still outside looking for Reza. He's not the kind of person that gives up easily. In-game, Ninja Vanish. Alright, so regarding Bryce, the ninja's buddy, best friend even, does that sound like Bryce? Should he have given up hours ago, or can't we help him? Alright, sounds like Bryce. Nope, that was not the one. Sounds like him. That's Bryce for you. Once he sets his mind on something, he sees it through to the end. That's why he's our chief. He gets things done. At this rate, it doesn't look like we'll find him today. He could be anywhere, long gone, beyond our reach. What do you think? To be honest, I don't know. I don't think he's going anywhere. Or, we'll never find him. Until he finds us. Okay, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I have no idea what he's doing or what his plan is, really. I wonder what will happen to our trade agreement now, considering Rez is still missing, the murders, and the stolen generators. If Reza really is the murderer, then don't do that. What? Worry. You don't know what's at stake here. People are dead, Cabbage. Do you think I don't know that? Reza may be our prime suspect, but he's also a missing person. Excuse me, for all we know, he could be a victim. Maybe someone is making him do this. My point is, we don't know the facts yet, and we need to know. What we need to do is find him and find the murderer. We'll find Reza and go from there. We'll figure it out. Alright, Justin, are we going to say nothing? Or, thanks, Sebastian. Alright, so thanks, Sebastian. Anyway, you said you had some information for us, so what did you find? The bandage you found is something alright. Of course it could be anyone's, but why would someone disregard theirs in a place like this? It seems suspicious to me, and is certainly worth checking out. I'll make sure it gets to the right place. The map in the library. I don't know what to think about that. He could have needed a map to plan something, I suppose, but who knows what he really wanted to do with it. It's the kind of detail that on its own might not tell us much, but could be crucial later on. Well done, Cabbage. That gives us some solid points from which we can continue our investigation. In any case, thanks for your help. We really do appreciate it. You're welcome. That should be all then, since Bryce still hasn't come back yet. I assume the search is still going on, and I better get out there and help him. Guess it's going to be a long day. Can you find your way back to your apartment? Of course. Alright, I'll see you later. Good luck. Alright, so I'm going to be making the cut in today's episode here today. Now. It's gone on about long enough. We have come up to, some free time. My camera is angled too high. Yeah, it should be fine. Alright, so that should be all for today. We're going to listen to Lorem's excited phone call. I don't know if I've actually heard this one before myself, actually. So, kind of happy to know about this, and I'll make the save so we can listen to it again when we just pick up with the next episode. So let's make the save right here, and then we'll even start off with Adine. Just zip on through Adine so we can, well no, that would be serving us no point. We can zip on through Adine immediately next episode. So, looks like there are some messages on the answering machine. Let's see. Hello, I had some time to work through some stuff you told me, and now would be the perfect time to get some pictures of you. If you're not busy with anything else, it would be great if you could come over sometime. So, see you soon? Maybe? Alright, good old Lorem. We've already made the save, so let's quit to the main menu. There's our beautiful little title screen where everything is almost unlocked except for our good buddy Lorem up there. So once again, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you guys again next week. We've already seen Doppel's stream. He may be doing Late Night Factorio again later today. I'm not sure of any other streams, whatever that's specifically going on. But I suppose that's about it. So Doppel may be streaming later today for anyone who's actually around and interested. Keep an eye on that. His Factorio is pretty fun. Yeah, I guess that's it. So have a good day, everyone. Oh, Cat woke up too.